Join me as I dive into the cosmos to figure out just how far the sun is from Betelgeuse. Let's see if I can wrap my head around these mind-blowing space facts. When we look up at the night sky, we often get a sense of how tiny we are in the grand scheme of things. But have you ever stopped to think about just how far away those twinkling stars really are? The truth is, our brains aren't really wired to handle the sheer scale of the universe. We're talking distances that are so massive, they're almost impossible to visualize. But that's exactly what we're going to try to do today. We're going to tackle one of the most mind-boggling distances out there. The distance from our sun to Betelgeuse, a massive star in the constellation Orion. You see, when we talk about distances in space, we're not just dealing with miles or kilometers. We're talking about light years, astronomical units, and all sorts of other mind-bending measurements that can be tough to wrap your head around. It's one thing to say that Betelgeuse is about 640 light years away, but what does that really mean? I mean, we can't exactly hop in a car and drive there, can we? The problem is, our everyday experiences just don't prepare us to think on this scale. We're used to dealing with distances that we can walk, drive, or fly. But when you start talking about distances that are millions, billions, or even trillions of miles, it's a whole different ball game. Our brains just aren't equipped to handle that kind of scale. So how do we even begin to understand these kinds of distances? Well, one way is to try to break them down into more manageable chunks. Let's say we take that 640 light-year distance to Betelgeuse and try to put it into perspective. A light year, by the way, is the distance light travels in 1 year, which is about 6 trillion miles. So we're talking about 6 trillion miles times 640. That's a 4 followed by 12 zeros. Okay, so let's get down to business. The distance from our sun to Betelgeuse is roughly 5.88 trillion miles. That's a 5 and 8 and 12 zeros, folks. To put that into perspective, if you were to travel at the speed of light, that's 186,000 miles per second, it would still take you about 640 years to reach Betelgeuse. Yeah, it's a long way. But here's the thing. That distance, as massive as it is just a tiny fraction of the vast expanse of the universe. I mean, there are stars out there that are millions, even billions of light years away. And when we start to think about those kinds of distances, it's easy to get lost in the sheer scale of it all. So, let's recap. The distance from our sun to Betelgeuse is a staggering 5.88 trillion miles. That's a number that's almost impossible to wrap your head around. But it's a number that reminds us just how tiny we are in the grand scheme of things. And that's what I love about space. It's got a way of putting things into perspective. So, what do you think about these mind-blowing space facts? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about the stars and the universe, be sure to check out our video on the top 10 most fascinating stars in the universe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.